Now, more than 50 years after humans last travelled to the moon, NASA has now set a date for sending astronauts, this time though to fly around it. The Artemis II mission has been scheduled to launch on the 6th of March after its 98-metre tall rocket successfully completed final tests. The spacecraft will lift off from the Kennedy Space Center in Florida for a 10-day voyage around the far side of the moon, the part we never actually get to see, then back to Earth again. We can speak to Sean Cleaver now, a spacecraft engineer at Airbus, who's been working on the European part of the Orion spacecraft. Welcome to you. Great to have you with us. Tell us about the work that you're doing and how it's going to play into this.
Yeah, so I'm working for Airbus out here in Germany, and we're building the European Service Module. Now, that is the module that sits behind the crew module on the Orion spacecraft. So it's a really crucial part of the Orion spacecraft. And in fact, those astronauts can't get to the moon without us. We've got the propulsion system on board, a big engine that actually pushes Orion to the moon. We've got all of the consumables on board that the astronauts need to survive. And then obviously big solar arrays that are generating all the power that the spacecraft needs. So really, it's a crucial part of the mission that we're part of.
So tell us a little bit more about this mission and just why it is so significant.
Yeah, so this Artemis II is the second in a series of missions that will be going back to the moon, but going back with a bit more of a long-term vision this time. So the Apollo program was all about taking astronauts on short duration missions to the moon. They would touch down, they would do scientific experiments, and then they would come home again. With Artemis, we're trying to test out technologies and build up some infrastructure on and around the moon that will allow us to really sort of make use of the moon, particularly when we're looking towards going to other planets like Mars in the future.
Every time we do a story about going to the moon, we always ask this question, but I think it's worth asking again, why has man and woman not been back to the moon in 50 years? Why is it proving so difficult? Is it just the expense?
Well, it's challenging, right? Everything that we do to take a human into space requires, thousands and thousands of engineers and many hours of work.
But technology's moved along so much, and we often hear, I don't know if it's really true, that we've got more tech in our mobile phones than they had on the first moon landings.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the technology is there, as we can see now, but ultimately there has to be the motivation, and we need the collaboration of many different nations. So we see that today with NASA working with the European Space Agency to put this into space. I mean, it is expensive, and we need that collaboration to make things like this possible.
So tell us a little bit more about what it's hoped will be achieved when this mission goes ahead for the sort of long-term space projects.
Yeah, so Artemis II is just the first one with crew. So we're taking a crew of 4 astronauts around the moon. So they won't land on the moon with this mission, but we're hoping that that will come with Artemis III and beyond. We'll then start to take astronauts down to the lunar surface. We'll be doing experiments, we'll be learning more, we'll be testing technologies out. And then we hope as well to have an orbiting space station around the moon. And all of this will be our sort of platform for going further in the future.
Yeah, when you say going further, is this about having a sort of longer term mission, a sort of base on the moon?
Yeah, absolutely. We really believe that by going to the moon, that's the only way we can really develop the technologies and sort of understand what it takes to be able to do that on, let's say, Mars. I mean, if you go to Mars, you go there for many months at a time. It's difficult. It's challenging for the human body. It's challenging to sort of sustain yourself. So if we can prove those technologies and keep astronauts alive for semi-long duration missions on the lunar surface, then we'll be able to do that on Mars in the future.
What do you think the time frame is for those kind of things, having a permanent base on the moon and actually humans getting to Mars?
Well, it's quite difficult to say because timelines are changing all the time. But what I do see now in the space industry is a lot of excitement. There are a lot of players now getting involved in this lunar exploration. I mean, we see it both from the agencies, but also from private industry as well. So I think it's only a matter of time now. It just takes the ambition, which I think we've all got, but we just need to make sure that our technology is perfect and in the right shape to be able to take us to Mars. I mean, I really hope that we see that in the next 10 to 15 years.
Sean Cleaver, really interesting, and the best of luck with the work that you're doing there.
Thank you.